I tell the guys, we're thin but mighty. Anybody that's ever asked about our program over the last few years, I've been saying the same thing.
Princeton's always been a tough football team. You know, one thing about us is we're going to play tough. We love to hit. You know, hitting is like preached, and it's like the gospel in Princeton.
I don't want to have all these rules and all these things that you got to try and memorize. Just the word all in. All in.
Football is one of the greatest sports in the world.
It was certainly emotional, no doubt about it. It always is between us and Ocean City.
I don't like losing. The kids don't like losing. And I don't want to lose to the same team over and over and over again. We want to win a state championship.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Cal One-on-One, presented by Ulmer's Appliance Service right here on Cape Atlantic Live. I'm your host, Nick Kosko, as we continue our 2025 football season preview. With me now is Millville head coach Humberto Ayala. Coach, good to talk to you again. You guys are always one of my favorite subjects to cover. You know, one of the best teams in South Jersey, coming off a nice campaign last year, 10-3, and, you know, again, hunting for more here in 2025 on that pursuit of another state championship.
Yeah, listen, you know, I think I've said to you multiple times, we're fortunate to have the talent that we have. You know, we got a standard and a culture here in Millville. The tradition of football runs deep. We preach it. Our kids know it. They believe it. They buy into it. They know the standard is the standard. So there's not much that needs to be said from year in to year out. Every young bolt that comes through the system just looks forward to developing and waiting for their opportunity to shine and wear that orange and blue. So we got some young guys that are ready to shine, you know, once again and continue to tradition on.
Again, as I mentioned before, 10 wins last year, got to the sectional semifinals. Tough loss to Winslow. Of course, you know, they had a great season last year. But I mean, you've had a great run over the last couple of years. You go back to 2021, you guys were regional champions, state champions the very next year, and of course, getting back to the sectional finals and the sectional semis over the last 2 years. So, you know, you mentioned the standard is a standard every year, and it seems like you guys have built in a nice tradition. You know, it's under your tenure, you know, following up the previous tenure as well. When you look at these last 4 years in totality, and now you have a big senior class here in 2025 as well, when you look at that trajectory, and I guess the consistency, I think is the better word, where does that come from? I know it starts with the buy-in, but you guys have had a pretty big model of sustained success compared to a lot of other programs pretty much throughout the entire state.
I mean, you know, listen, it's like I said, football is big in Millville. It runs deep, not just in the past 4 years, but it ran deep, you know, in the past 20, 30, 40 years. I mean, you know, I have kids playing for us now whose fathers played on this team and wore the colors. And so, you know, through that consistency and tradition and kids coming up and then having their kids come up, it just, the tradition passes on. And, you know, the one thing I always believe in is, like, you know, I'm not big on, you know, one big season. I want sustained success from year in and year out. So through the process, and you know, I'm fortunate to have a great coaching staff alongside of me that buys into you know, what's put in place, and you know, we continuously push that mentality onto these kids year in and year out. And you know, we have a lot of talent that comes through this city, and our kids desire to play and wear our colors, and you know, they believe in what's being taught, and they see the success of the older kids, and you know, where they're going, and they just wait for their opportunity, and that's why we are where we are.
I'm curious about the guys who have waited for their opportunity now. Nobody really in particular, but of course, there's a group of them every single season. What was the message to those types of kids immediately after last season's playoff exit? Because, you know, again, coaches usually say, hey, we have a week off, then we're right back in the weight room. We're getting back to work, and we're going to start tweaking some things for the next season. What were some of those conversations like with those guys where it's like, hey, we're going to need you to step up big time next year?
Yeah, well, listen, we're still pretty young. We had a lot of young guys play last year, believe it or not. I mean, I don't think, you know, people don't realize it. There was other guys there. It's just, you know, sometimes, you know, the attention was so drawn to, you know, Brooks and, you know, his stardom and whatnot, and they overlooked, you know, the rest of what we had, you know. But, you know, when it comes to our guys, they understand, you know, what has to go into it. So it's not hard to get the buy-in there. I know I hear a lot of coaches talk about, oh yeah, we're right in it after Thanksgiving. That's not us.
Hmm.
It's a long season, man. And football is a grind mentally and physically. And I believe that our kids, as well as us coaches and my staff, they need a deep compression mode. So for us personally, we don't get right into the weight room and get into it after Thanksgiving. We give that break and we get into it after the Christmas break.
Hmm.
Because I think, mentality wise, I know what our guys put into it. I don't have to worry about what's going to happen on the on the outside over that time frame, because our guys are just doing their own thing as far as lifting or continuously doing things to get better, because
Hmm.
like I said, the standard is the standard. So once January hits and we come back from that Christmas break, it's full throttle and the grind is in. So I mean, that's just the way we go about it.
Yeah.
It's successful for us, and we haven't missed a beat. We have a great strength and conditioning program. My coach, my strength and conditioning coach, does a great job. We see the gains that we need to see over the time frame that we see it. That puts us in the position we're in.
Is there some of that rejuvenation after the Christmas break where you're just like, hey, we want you to decompress, have this time off. If you're playing other sports, obviously go do that as well. But when you guys get back into it in January, of course, you're not going to 100% right away. You might ramp up to it or however you guys break it down. But is there a renewed sense of like, all right, the competition fire is back. We're ready to get back after it. Do you notice a big difference compared to after that long grind? It's Thanksgiving. It's like these guys are worn out, so to speak. But then come January, 6 weeks later, it's like, all right, the fire's back.
Yeah. I mean, listen, like I said, I mean, I know every coach says, I want to go to a state champ. We legitimately expect to be in a state championship every year. We expect to be in a regional final every year. Sectional I mean, that's great. But that's not it. That's not the
Mm-hmm.
end goal for us. Yeah, it's great you get a blue trophy and all that, but we want that gold one. And we want to bring that back to the city. So for us, when that time comes back in, yeah, everybody's hyped up. I mean, we consistently have 48 to 50 guys in the weight room on top of a good core of our guys play basketball, and half of our wrestling team are football players.
Yeah.
Regardless if they start or not. But we have a good core of guys, and we still have 45 kids in the weight room consistently. When the spring comes, we're still at 48 to 50 kids in the weight room. We're fortunate to have the facilities we have where we can house those kids, where they're consistently getting the work in that they need to. But yes, the rejuvenation's there. They're like, all right, let's get after it. Let's get after it. Now that itch is in place, because they June hit. They know that we get into a little 7-on-7 moment. So, but yeah, man, that's why I believe in letting everybody decompress, because it's emotional, man. That Winslow game was emotional. We
Right.
were right there. We were in a good game. We gave everything we had. I mean, that's a heck of a team, heck of a talent on the field. So yeah, you need that decompression after that emotional moment.
I wanted to ask you one more thing about last year, and then we'll dive into 2025. And you already mentioned Lazier Brooks. Of course, he's over at Alabama and already getting a little bit of shine down there through spring practice. Darian Blagowitz, of course, is going to it was signed to Kent State last year as well. Just guys like that, and maybe some other seniors that I'm missing off the top of my head. That have gone on to play college football, whether it's the Division I level or other levels of college football. What did that senior class mean to you, and what kind of mark did they leave on the guys who are still here, I guess, following their example, so to speak?
Well, that senior class played a humongous role. I mean, you got to think those seniors like Darian and Brooks started as true freshmen. I mean,
Right.
they played into 2 state champions. They have 2 rings to show for it, plus 3 sectional titles. And made an appearance in 4 sectional moments, plus 3 regionals. So I mean, they left a mark on the program that'll never be forgotten. They'll go down into Thunderbolt history, and they'll be inducted into our Hall of Fame in 10 years from now. So they'll never be forgotten. I mean, as far as all our guys, I mean, we have multiple guys playing at the next level. The one thing that makes me happy as a coach is that when they come back in off moments, they come right back home, and they come in to get the workout in and to lift. And the best moment is when they come while the younger guys are there. So they see these guys come in, and they just continuously pass that torch on. So that tradition, like I said, that we've built and that is established, and we continue to sustain year in and year out, allows the younger guys to understand what's at stake every year.
I love hearing that. So we'll dive into 2025 in just a second. We'll step aside, take a quick break. This is Cal 101 right here on Cape Atlantic Live.
This broadcast is brought to you by Harbor Jiu-Jitsu. Located in Egg Harbor Township, Harbor Jiu-Jitsu is more than just training. Both adults and kids can gain practical skills that give you real confidence, build physical and mental resilience, and you can join a team that's here to help you grow. Featuring no gi, wrestling, and MMA classes. Harbor Jiu-Jitsu is the most dynamic gym in South Jersey. For more information, check out harborjiujitsu.com.
Coach, when it comes to 2025, again, you have a lot of guys back. Again, there's a good amount of seniors that we were talking about before we came on the air, but of course, some other guys that are juniors, and you mentioned some of the young guys that were playing last year, really big roles. I wanted to start with quarterback Robbie O'Connor. He's only going into his junior year, and for those who, I don't know, if you're in South Jersey, I don't know how you don't know his name at this point. One of the better quarterbacks around here in this area, over 2,300 yards last year, 26 touchdowns, accurate with the football. Just what have you seen with his development from his sophomore year and now going into his junior year, as he now, again, you guys are 2.5 months away from the season starting, and I feel like he's the guy you're looking at, all right, we're going to see the most strides here from sophomore to junior year.
Yeah, listen, the kid's an amazing kid, first of all. 3.8 GPA kid. His work ethic and continuous drive to get better. The kid trains like multiple times a week with his quarterback trainer. Then he's working out with us, and then he's going out to the field with his receivers on his own, and kind of like having those workout sessions with them. And so to see his growth at the leadership level in the weight room, and then seeing his drive shows me that this young man is going to take a major step this year. And I think, like anything, when you have a quarterback like him at the high school level, that's a pure quarterback. It makes a lot of things easy, makes you be able to do a lot of things that you would love to do. But having, seeing Robbie from his leadership role from last year to this year, he's stronger, he's bigger, stronger. He's his arm stronger. So just seeing all those moments for him, I'm excited to see this junior year for him, because I know it's a big year for him. The kid's the next level quarterback. I know he's going to camps now. They see it. So now it's just a matter of him putting all that stuff together on the field.
When you talk about his leadership qualities, is he one of the quarterbacks that's very vocal with his teammates, whether it's, mostly positive, sometimes the negative stuff comes out too, where it's like maybe, lights a fire under his teammates, or is he more of that stoic type where it's truly lead by example and everyone else follows through?
He's vocal, but he's vocal in a positive way. Robbie is not. I don't know if he's got a negative bone in his body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is our guys if like our guys are very like they're hardcore. It's football. You know what I mean? But the respect level for his voice is there. Like, he don't have to step out of character to get their attention. He's a legit, true field general. Like, I preach to him consistently. You're an extension of me on that field. No different than like a point guard for a basketball coach. You know what I mean? So that's what he is for us. And now he's a true leader, man. He doesn't lead, he leads by example, obviously, through his work ethic, but, vocally, he's as strong as they get.
Love hearing that. Some of the other skill guys that are back for you, at least on offense, Aiden Dawkins, Reginald Holy, and Jaden Days as well, right, running back and wide receivers, respectively. These guys have experience under their belt, put up some decent numbers last year, probably going to see a bigger role. Of course, I think you alluded to it before, how, a lot of people focused on Lazier Brooks last year. Everyone knows how productive he was, holding state records as a wide receiver. But when you look at the way the rest of your offense is going to operate, do you see where it's now going to, I guess, you'll see Robbie spread the ball a little bit more, and you maybe stick to more of a consistent ground game?
I thought we ran the ball pretty well last year. We didn't have Lazier Brooks in the sectional final, and we ran for 330 yards. You know what I mean? So, I pride myself on being as balanced as possible. You got to run the football, especially in the playoffs. you have to have a run game. So we pride ourselves on that over here at Millville, and we always have running backs. Aiden Dawkins is just now like in his senior year. He was behind Jamal Wallace Jr., who had a heck of a season, and now Aiden Dawkins he's another guy that everybody's going to get to know really soon. He's a very talented young man. Um, as far as our receivers, listen, but like any of them, we have Aiden, we have Reggie, we have Jaden Days, a couple other guys that people will get to know, but they got to go out there and now prove it. You know what I mean? They got to prove that they are the guys to make things happen and to lead this orange and blue on the field. But yeah, they're gifted young men. Reggie's been starting since his freshman year, and Jaden Days came to us last year as a transfer, and he started for us. So we're excited to see that. We don't feel like, I know, Brooks left, but that ship keeps rolling. It don't matter, I mean, we got a standard. We play at a certain level, and that's what we expect.
Yeah, I think I'll rephrase. I think I meant in the sense that, obviously with Brooks on the field, and if anybody had him, of course, the opposing defense is going to be like, all right, we need about 3 guys to stop him, and the other 8, you worry about.
Oh yeah,
right. On the defensive side, of course, a lot of your guys do play both ways, so it just goes to show you how talented a lot of your guys are, especially the older guys who have been playing a lot on defense. Shamar Collins, I know we talked about him, over 100 tackles last season on the defensive end of things. Jaden Jones, to throw out a big boy, and as well as Terrence Ridgway as well. When you talk about, I guess, guys like that on defense and their leadership qualities as well, when you see this defense, I think it was last year we were talking about how fast you guys were on defense, especially sideline to sideline. What do you see from this group this coming season?
I mean, we pride ourselves. I know we love to sling the ball around. We put up numbers and all that, but we pride ourselves defensively. I got an excellent defensive coordinator, Coach Charles Core, who does an amazing job getting these guys ready and buying into what we do. We're not one dimensional. We're very versatile on the style of play we play. Having people like Jaden Jones and Shamar Collins on that side of the ball, make a heck of a difference. They are the face of our team. They are the biggest leaders that we have, alongside of Robbie O'Connor on the offensive side. But Shamar and Jaden have paved the way because they've been there in a state championship year. Jaden had the game-winning sack in our state championship game. So speed is never an issue, and the same speed we had last year, we plan on being the same way this year. 11 hats to the ball, hard-nosed, aggressive OBG football. That's what we bring.
Love to hear it. As far as the schedule is concerned, you guys are going to open up against Rancocas Valley on August 29th at Battle of the Beach. I think that one's at Rowan. It's one of the 2 days at Rowan this year, and the first day at Ocean City. Do you have that game? I'm assuming, again, with the schedule coming up, everyone can get, maybe carried away, look ahead at certain opponents, but is that, I got to imagine that game is on the whiteboard, circle. It's like, it's all about taking care of business today and leading up to the first game of the season. Then we'll worry about the rest.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, we have a rigorous schedule. So every week, from week to week, we play a really tough opponent, and we have to prepare. Right now, our focus is on just developing and getting ready and preparing ourselves to be great at what we need to do. Rancocas Valley will come up at some point, but that game, along with every other game, is circled because we have to be prepared for everything. But yeah, the first one up is RV, and it's a well-coached team. They had a great season last year, and 7:30 at Rowan. We gotta be ready.
It's prime time. When you look, is your schedule pretty much the same as last year, but just flipped, or are there any significant changes here for 2025?
Same exact schedule, flipped, except for the RV at Rowan.
All right, very good. Just wanted to take a look at that. All right, so again, August 29th at Rowan, Battle of the Beach, 2.5 months away, but I feel like it's going to creep up on us pretty fast. I'll leave you here with this one, Coach, and again, I appreciate your time this evening. When you talk about, I guess, I don't want to call it a catchphrase, maybe a motto or just maybe a statement or even just one word, a phrase that really stands out for your team. Some teams, I guess, change it each year. Some stick to the same one. Do you guys have some that really just locks in for your team that maybe sums up this squad here in 2025?
I mean, I don't know if we've gotten to that point yet. You know what I mean? Our guys, always preach family. Our guys believe in, the orange and blue. So as far as a motto, it's just, back to the standard and back to the drawing board. Get ready for the 2025 season. It's football time. That's it.
I love it. Hey, we're going to end on a high note right there. It's football time. It's only June 10th, but it's certainly going to be football time come August 29th. Coach, I appreciate your time. Good luck this season. Looking forward to watching you guys all season long, and maybe we'll be talking about a 2025 state championship coming back to the city of Millville.
Thank you, Nick. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. Coach Ayala with me here on Cal 1-on-1, presented by Ulmer's Appliance Service right here on Cape Atlantic Live. Be sure to check out the rest of the podcast on the channel and our live games coming up here in the 2025 season.